So it was just 1 week before the exam, and there will be millions of questions in the mind and emptiness in the heart, with 0% confident and 50% hope and millions of errors in the mind. Let me tell you about my journey. Welcome to my channel Inspiring Brains. This is Hari, completed physiotherapy, currently doing medicine and a part-time biology faculty. So even when I was in that stage, there were a million questions in my mind. Can I do this? Can I crack this entrance? Can I do something so that I can stop the pain of my heart, which is aching for many years? So this was my questions. And sometimes I thought, even when I clear the entrance, I don't have such financial situation to go for a private college and a merit seat. So there was many pounding questions in the heart and brain. All I had in my thing is a hand full of patience in one hand, and in another hand full of belief of the person who knows me, especially my friends, who are ready to cherish my success as their success. As the day passes by, the dreams become meticulous. Dreadful dreams packed my day. The dreams are, what would happen if I got a question paper in other language? What would happen if I shade 29th question instead of 31 and subsequent wrong shading? Or what would happen if I got a sudden urinal urge? These things distort my focus and concentration in studying. But I always tell my students, these dreams are good because these are all the one which makes me awake in my exam hall. These dreams indirectly gives me an experience about how to act in those situations, and these dreams give me a fear that I don't want to repeat in the main exam. And the final day comes, the day with mixed feeling. On one side I feel hungry, on the other side full satiety. The day I don't want to end and also not to elongate. It's always a mixed feeling. And I dressed up with one of my oldest pant and shirt as I don't want to shatter my focus in dressing. And I went to all the temples just because to overcome my fear of losing the exam. And it was 11:30 a.m. and I went to my friend's home, and he was the one who is going to drop me at the center. And on the way I ate some banana, as I always tell my students to eat something to normalize the sugar levels. So if you feel hungry in the examination center, you don't have the mind to think well and precisely to answer the question. And when I reach the center, everyone is with their parents with big books, and they are reading something. And it was my friend who asked me, why don't you bring anything? And all my answer is, I don't want to mess it up by repeat it again. And the final segment arrived. After all the checking, I went into my exam hall and I sit in my seat. It was a mixed feeling, and I feel the most crucial period of half an hour in my life, that is from 1:30 to 2 p.m. It was full of emotional thing where even thinking creates a fear of forgetting the subject. And finally, question paper arrived. All I prayed is two things. One, I have to do something for those people who even believed me in my bad situation. Second, I should do the correct coding or correct shading for all the options in correct question number, whatever be the situation. These are all the two things which I prayed before attending the question paper. And as the clock started, the question is also started. Started with my biology, as I know much thing in biology, then it is chemistry, and finally it is physics. And it was the last 10 minutes of the exam where there was my adrenaline rush. I have to revisit the question which I kept for review. And whenever I tell my students to revisit the things, I got a technique. It's called as invest and attend. For example, if I got 82 questions correct, what I have to do is I have to invest 2 questions, which means 8 marks to attend 8 review questions. So if at all I got a luck, I can take the reback of my marks. And if at all it is a failure, again it's not a big deal because I got 80 questions safer in my hand. This was my technique which I always tell my students to follow during the exams. And finally, the clock strikes 5 p.m. It was my invigilator who collected all the papers. And with much relaxation and a smile on my face, I just came out of the examination hall as I done my part of justice. It was like a Jersey movie feeling where I want to shout it out or freak out all my depression as I done something to bring peace to my heart. I always tell my students that nobody likes to hear a failure story. So make them to hear your story by slapping with your success. All the best.